I'm Kaye Hermanson. I am one of the educators in the WorkStrong program, and today I'm going to lead you in a visualization. It's a visualization of the beach, although you can use these same skills to visualize any place you'd like to be. It doesn't have to be a beach. But these visualizations are very useful for anxiety management, for stress management. They can help you get a great night's sleep if you do some visualization right before you go to bed. They're just a great tool to have in your stress management toolkit. So let's get started. So the first thing I'd like you to do is find a comfortable seated position. Unlike me, who does not have any head support, you should try to have something where your neck can be supported backwards, because you don't want to do this for 30 minutes or 20 minutes or however long our visualization ends up being, because you don't want to strain your neck. So if you can find some place where you have some good head support, that's a great place to start. Then we're going to start with a few deep breaths in. When you take a deep breath, you should breathe in through your nose and out through pursed lips. The goal with the deep breath is always to slow your breathing and relax your body. So we're going to start with a few deep breaths in. You can do these exercises with your eyes closed, or if that is uncomfortable for you, you can keep your eyes partially open, but keep them kind of focused downward so that you can really pay attention to what we're working on, okay? So I'm going to do mine with my eyes closed. So we're going to take a few deep breaths in. On your first deep breath in and out, I want you to just allow your body to begin to relax. And as you continue to breathe out, I want you to breathe out stress, tension, almost as if you had tiny little faucets on your fingertips and toes, and they're just draining away the stress. And as you continue to take these deep breaths in, I want you to scan your body quickly, noticing any areas of discomfort, tension, pain. But then I want you to focus away from those areas. I want you to find some part of your body that's particularly relaxed, particularly comfortable, whatever that might be. Maybe it's a little tingly, maybe it's warm, maybe it's cool, whatever feels good to you. And I want you to focus your attention on that part of your body. And as you breathe in, I want you to allow those sensations to begin to spread to other parts of your body, so that sooner or later, more and more of your body is relaxed. Now, there's a funny thing about relaxation. People describe it one of two ways. Some people describe it as a sensation of floating. And if this is true for you, you might feel like you're floating in a warm pool or bath. Other people describe it as a sensation of heaviness, of weight. And if that's true for you, you might notice the weight of your legs against the chair, of your back against the backrest, of your feet on the ground. It's not that one is right and the other is wrong. It's simply your experience of what it feels like to be relaxed. Now, in a moment, we're going to begin our visualization. And when we do, I want you to know that you are entirely in charge of what you imagine in this visualization. I will be leading you, but it's up to you to think about what you're imagining. So it could be someplace you've actually been, someplace you've seen in a magazine or a movie, or someplace you're absolutely making up in your mind as we go along. It doesn't matter. But what does matter is that it is a safe, peaceful, wonderful place that you just want to spend time in. All right, so go ahead. As we begin, I want you to imagine in front of you a doorway. I want you to walk towards that door, place your hand on the doorknob, feel the doorknob turn underneath your hand, and the door open, and you walk through out onto your beach. Now we're going to use all of our senses in our imagination to make this scene as vivid and as real as possible. So the first thing I want you to imagine is what you would see at the beach. I want you to notice, where is the sun in the sky? Is it morning, noon, nighttime? Don't look directly at the sun, but notice how the sun colors the sky. Some summer days the sun is so bright that the sky almost looks washed out in white. Other days you get that beautiful blue sky. So notice what your sky looks like. And notice if there are other things in your sky. Some big fluffy clouds rolling by overhead. As they roll by, as you watch them, you might get that tiny sensation of movement. There may be other things, seagulls maybe, birds, just making lazy loops in the sky as they float on the warm updrafts of air. Maybe there's a contrail from an airplane that had passed by a while ago. Just notice your sky, and then let your eye cross the sky down to the horizon where the sky meets the ocean. And then I want you to pay attention to that amazing, beautiful ocean. The reason that we go to the beach is to spend time near the ocean. I want you to notice a wave far out towards the horizon, and I want you to watch it as it moves towards you on shore, gaining a little bit of height, maybe a tiny bit of a white cap, and then that wave crashes onto the sandy beach, and it's almost immediately absorbed by the sand. It washes back out, and here comes the next wave. And I want you to notice as you look out over the ocean that it's not one color the way a child might color it in a coloring book. It's lots of different colors. It's dark where the ocean is deep. Closer to the shore, it might be a brilliant turquoise blue or green, or it might be so clear that you can see through to the sandy bottom of the ocean. I want you to notice that the sun catching the water turns parts of the water looking almost gold or silver or white. I love to watch the sun dance across the water. That movement of the light on the water is just a beautiful thing. And there may be other things out on your ocean. There might be maybe a ship passing slowly by out in the distance. Nearer to shore, there might be people or animals in the water, maybe some kayakers or some surfers, maybe some children with boogie boards, whatever you want to imagine. There might be animals in the water. There might be fish or otters, or if you're someplace really tropical and cool, maybe there's even something like dolphins. Just watch as those animals move through the water. Notice their strength, their grace, as they move through their environment, not stressed, just happy. There may be other things too. There may be an old pier that juts out into the water, making gentle motion as the waves crash against it. And then if you look down the stretch of your beach, now beaches can be rocky or they can be sandy, but I'm imagining a sandy beach today, so that's what we're going to go with. I want you to notice that the sand is made up of hundreds of thousands of tiny particles, and some of them are light, and some of them are dark, some of them reflect the sun. And the sand itself is different. Down where the water washes up over it, it's firm packed and damp. Up above that, it's light and fluffy and dry. And depending on what kind of a beach you're imagining, it may be just completely smooth sand with just your footprints on it, if you're imagining a beach of solitude. Or if you're imagining a beach with lots of happy people, then that sand has been churned up by lots of happy feet. There may be things on the sand, seashells, sea glass, driftwood, maybe some kelp. Just notice all the details, drink them in. And then, as you look around your beach, you'll probably notice that near the edges of the beach, there's probably some plant life. Probably maybe palm trees or beach grass, or again, if you're someplace beautiful and tropical, you might have that were in the water. Maybe the splash that they make as they interact with the ocean. Perhaps that pier that's jetting out into the water is making a creaking sound as the waves hit it one after the other. If you're on a beach with lots of people, you probably hear happy voices, children shrieking as the waves come up to them and they giggle and run out. Maybe some dogs swimming out to catch a stick and bring it back. If you're on a beach of solitude, maybe you just hear the sound of peace and quiet. And maybe you can hear the leaves of your plant rustling against each other as the ocean breeze blows through them. And you knew you were coming to the beach, so perhaps you brought something with you that plays music. So think for a moment about what would be your perfect song to hear for a day at the beach. And then let the chorus of that song play in your mind for a moment. Next, I want you to think about what you would feel at the beach. Well, the first thing I feel is that warm sun on my face, on my shoulders, warming my whole body. And then when it's a little too warm, beads of sweat forming at your forehead, there comes that lovely ocean breeze, blowing in, ruffling your hair, cooling you down, maybe bringing with it a gentle dusting of sand across your feet. And that's something you can feel. If you're walking on the sand, you can certainly feel the sand conforming up under your arches. If you're on that dry sand, it might be hot. You might have to go down to that cool, damp sand, easier to walk on and a little cooler for your feet. Now the next part is going to take part in the water. So if you are not comfortable in the water, then you imagine yourself in a hammock, suspended between two palm trees, just floating back and forth as your hammock swings in a gentle breeze. For everyone else, I want you to go ahead and dip your toes in the water. Notice the temperature. Notice how the water washes up over you, coming a little higher on your legs, and then it pulls back out as the wave leaves. It takes a little bit of sand from underneath your feet, and you have that momentary need to adjust your balance. And you can go out further and you can float on the water if you'd like. Hopefully it's a lovely, warm, tropical water. But if not, if it's a cold Northern California water, you can have your wetsuit on to keep you warm. But I want you to imagine that you're floating on that water, your whole body supported by the water, and the waves gently raising you up and lowering you down, like being rocked to sleep as a baby. And that's another feeling that we associate with the beach. A sense of relaxation, of vacation, of knowing there's nowhere else you need to be and nothing else you need to be doing in this moment, but focusing here, allowing yourself to relax. Next, I want you to imagine what you might smell at the beach. I try to be good about putting my sunscreen on, so that's the first thing that I smell. It's a little bit of a coconutty smell. The beach itself has its own smell. It never sounds very good when I describe it, but it's a good fresh air smell. It's kind of a combination of hot sand and salt air and something a little bit fishy. But it's a good fresh air smell that you just want to breathe into your lungs. And we'll also focus on what we might taste here too, because taste and smell are so closely associated. So if you've been at the beach for the day and you lick your lips, there's a good chance you're going to get a little bit of a salty flavor. And you knew you were coming to the beach today, so you might have brought with you a picnic lunch. So walk over to your imaginary hamper or cooler, open it up, and look inside and think about what would be your favorite lunch to have at the beach. And then I want you to think about the texture of that food, how it feels in your mouth as you eat it. How with the dry salt air, some foods get a little drier at the beach, just like our skin. I want you to think about the flavors of those foods, whether they're sweet or salty, how they mix together, how enjoyable they are. And then I want you to think about how lovely it is on a hot day at the beach to have an ice cold, refreshing beverage. That's nice. And as you sit here in the sand, on a towel, or on a chair, enjoying your lunch, looking around this beautiful scene, the ocean waves, the moving palm trees, the beautiful sun maybe beginning to go lower in the sky and add some color to the sky. I want you to once again scan your body. Again, it's okay to notice areas that are tense or a little painful, but again, I want you to focus away from those, and I want you to put your attention on the parts of your body that feel really good and very relaxed. And I want you to notice whether more of your body feels that way now that we've done our visualization. I want you to know that you can come here anytime you want to this beach or to any other scene. It's very simple, really. It's a matter of getting comfortable in a chair, taking a few deep breaths in, and then using your imagination and your senses to make a very vivid image of something lovely and peaceful. And in a few moments, we'll need to end our visualization and return to wherever we started off. At that time, you can bring with you any sense of peace and relaxation that you've achieved here, and you can take it with you through the remainder of your day. But you will still be awake and alert, fully in command of your thoughts and your actions, just as you have been throughout this entire visualization. So when you're ready, take a deep breath in. Sit up, maybe stretch. Open your eyes. And just enjoy the sense of peace and relaxation that you have achieved for yourself. I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you.